Hello everyone, welcome back to another story time with me, Brownie, number 258 from the Squid Games. And I was asked a question last night on the Zoom call that we have regularly to talk to each other. And by we, I mean the contestants, the players. We talk to each other regularly on Zoom just to kind of like stay in contact because I'm in France. A lot of them are in the States, some of them are in Australia. We're honestly all over the place. So Zoom is the easiest way to include all iPhone and Android users alike. And I was asked like a really interesting question of what don't I want to make it onto the show. And the only thing that I hope that they don't show is when we were lining up for what we thought was going to be tug of war, we were strategizing pretty much the whole day before, like figuring everything out, because of course the games are on the walls. We're trying to go by like what the show had aired, like the real show had aired. We're freaking out. We're paranoid. So we think tug of war is coming next. We walk into the white room through the hallway, whatever, walk to the white room, and we see rows, 8 little things. And then we see the 2 boxes that we know from the show is how they chose the teams for tug of war. So immediately it clicks everyone. They're like, all right, well, it's really tug of war. Let's go. We got to get into our groups. The loudspeaker says like we have to like get into groups of like 14, 15, whatever. And we have a time limit. So as we know from Dalgona, time limits are very strict. And if you don't make that time limit, there's a possibility that you can be eliminated. Everyone can be eliminated. So we just figured if we didn't have 15 or 14 people in our line, then everyone was going to be eliminated because we miscounted. It was our mistake and whatever. So we were freaking out. And of course, you know, strategy goes out the window at this point because you're in a room with over 100 people. And some people that you talk to are all the way over there. Some people that you talk to before are all the way over there. Like you're trying to like corral people, but they're being pulled in all directions. And there's a time limit. So people are like, well, I just want to sit down in this line. Whoever joins this line with me joins this line. And it is what it is. So I, of course, am with 286, Chad, and 33, Figgy. And that's our solid 3. We're like, okay, well, we're trying to get the rest of our friends with us. So we're looking for Dr. Rick. We're looking for my Australian friends. We're looking for pretty much like people that we want on our team, but we also want a diverse team. So we're just looking for like some women like Leanne and Trey. I forget what their numbers were, but they're the mother and son duo that you see throughout the show. We're looking for them because we were like, okay, well, like you guys can stay on our team no matter what. We're looking for Mai because Mai was always going to be with us. And then we're just looking for a few other people. But we grab our people and we sit down. And someone's like, we have too many people. I'm like, well, how do we have too many people? Like, how do we have too many people? So we start counting and we're counting 17 people. Now the back of the line is not a perfect line. It's like people kind of sitting like haphazardly. I don't even know if it was a shape. It was just like a bunch of people. And I'm just like, okay, well, like people got to go. They got to get out of the line because we already know from Dalgona that if we don't make this time limit, then people really, like we all get eliminated. So like somebody's got to go. We got to get it together, people. If you were at the back of the line, you got to go. And people are like getting really antsy. And by people, I mean me. I'm getting really antsy. I'm getting really worried because I'm like, I'm not about to be eliminated because people don't want to like get up and move. Like, come on, guys, just go. Like, you have to go. I understand that like you want to be on our team, but like our team is set. Whoever's that, like, you got to go. And we're looking at it and we're thinking, okay, who was not here in the beginning? And also, who do we not want on our team? Like, let's be real. Who do we not want on our team? So the names that came up were Honor, Saeed, and Camilla. And I love Camilla. She literally supported me mentally, emotionally, whatever, through this, like through big parts of the game. So when people were bringing up her name, I was like, I understand, like, if it's tug of war, she is a smaller girl. Like, I completely get it. But I know she has heart. Like, I don't want to, like, tell her to go. I just don't want to. So we were like, okay, well, like, we got to take a vote. We're over there voting. We're just like, arguing amongst ourselves. And then they're like, well, Honor was the last one to sit down. and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, Honor's gotta go. So I get up and I'm like, okay, I'll move to the back of the line, because at this point, I don't know how much time is left. I feel like it's like a minute left or something like that, maybe even 2 minutes. I have no freaking clue. So I'm panicking and I'm like, okay, guys, like we got like this back of the line's got to get it together. Like I'm not getting eliminated because you guys just don't want to move. You got, like, I understand you guys want to be here with your friends or whatever. So like, how about 2 of you get up and move, and then we will have 15 people, you know? Or if 3 of you want to go, 3 of you can go too, and we will have 14 people still making it fine. The thing was that the other lines were pretty much set. So if they left, they wanted to be together on a team, and it wasn't really going to work out that way. So I think that was like the main thing that was stopping them from actually, you know, like getting up and walking away, because they wanted to be together no matter what. And I was like, I get that. But at the same time, like, clock is ticking. We got to go, because we know from previous experiences that like we can get eliminated. And is it really worth getting eliminated and not being able to play just because you couldn't be on the same team as your friend? And I started getting really upset, because I noticed the pattern throughout the games that this was just simply a game for a lot of people. They were coming here to either promote themselves, their businesses, just to meet a bunch of people, do a bunch of things. But for me, I was here because I was trying to make life-changing money, like actual life-changing money. Even a small chunk of that money would have been life-changing for me. And my mom has been permanently disabled for a very long time, pretty much since I entered high school. And we've had a lot of financial problems. Like I've been homeless multiple times. Like it's just been a lot. And very recently, like right before the games, she had a very bad stroke, and she was left pretty much bedbound for a while, and then wheelchair bound, which she still is right now. And she just has no mobility of her left side at all. Basically, she can't do anything. So all these things are running through my mind. I'm like, I'm here for a real reason. To me, I'm here to literally try to help my mother, figure out what condition she has, try to get medical treatments for her. Like, I'm here for a reason that I think is bigger than just promoting a business or doing things like that. Like this is literally life or death for some people. And the Squid Game, I completely get that, because that is what the show was about. Some people, I just felt like their reasonings for being there weren't as urgent, if I can say that, weren't as urgent. So it became more and more evident when people were like, oh, well, like, I don't care. I'm just not gonna move, because I mean, whatever. I just want to be stubborn. They'd rather be stubborn than to actually have a fighting chance at money that was literally life or death for some people. So that really started to frustrate me throughout the games. It wasn't just this one instance. It was multiple times. In the dorms, I would hear people talking about it. When we were playing Dalgona, when we were choosing for Dalgona, I definitely saw it, and I heard it from people talking. They're like, well, I'm just not going to move no matter what, because if I go home, I go home. I'm like, some of us really need to be here. Like, we need this money, and we want this money just as bad as we want to breathe, basically. So it's just, in that moment, all those emotions were coming out, and I just kind of blew up, and I screamed at one person in particular. It was Honor, and I honestly feel so terribly about it. I've apologized to him multiple times. He's accepted my apology and told me to stop apologizing so many times. But I screamed at him, and I basically told him to get the F out of the line. Like, I'm not doing this. Like, my mom's not going to be like dying basically just because people want to be stubborn. Somebody has to leave. Like, and then I also told him, which they probably won't show, I was like, look, I want you on our team over a lot of other people in this line, but you were the last one to get here, so you got to be the first one to go. Like, you have to leave. So I just feel like I allowed the pressure and the situation itself to really get to me and get me out of character, because I was just, it's weird, because it's a panic mode I've never felt before. It was something that it felt like it was completely out of my control. Like, I cannot physically pick this person up and move them. That was against the rules. Like, you can't cause anyone physical harm, obviously. But I just needed them to move. I was like, I needed at least a fighting chance at winning this money. So like, I'm not getting eliminated because you guys just want to be stubborn and you want to just do whatever. So yes, that is something that I really, really hate that I did. I don't like being upset. I'm not a person who's typically upset. I don't like yelling at people. It's not fun. I do not enjoy confrontation. I do not shy away from it. If it's brought to me, I'm not afraid of pretty much anything, except for heights, squirrels, raccoons, and house cats. But I do not like the way that I handled that situation. It could have gone a lot differently to me in my mind. And I've had calls from the welfare team and other producers, and they were talking to me about it because I felt so badly, but I literally cried like for a very long time, and I just like could not get it together. And I was like, I should not have yelled at him like that. Like, I treated him the way I would never want to be treated. Like, I would never want someone to scream at me like that. So I just felt really, really badly. And some of the welfare team producers were like, if it makes you feel any better, we were also yelling at him in our rooms and in our minds to just leave the line. It's like, do you guys really want to get eliminated for not moving? So I was like, it did make me feel a little bit better, but at the same time, it didn't, because it's something that I feel like should have never happened. Like, I should have never allowed it to get to that point. I should have been able to be in control of my emotions and just tell them calmly at the back of the line, like, hey, you guys have about 30 seconds to come to a consensus. Whoever was the last one here needs to be the first one to go. We cannot all get eliminated. Like, give yourself a fighting chance. But in the moment, when we are very hungry, very tired, very stressed, and very paranoid, it just didn't work out that way. But yes, that is all for today. That is the end of my story. But like, subscribe, all the good stuff. Leave some comments below if you have any questions or anything you want me to talk about that I can talk about legally. I will make a video about it. And for now, that's it. I'm Brownie, number 258, and I'll talk to you guys soon.